We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
It was overfeeding, it was force feeding. I called it before, it was political waterboarding. So that's what they did. So they sent this thing out there, and this is where I want to talk to Paul Furber, because he's insisting, and I have no reason to disbelieve him, that he is not the person that was doing this Q posting. But he was aware of it early on. There were a lot of questions about why, that type of thing would ever need to be done anyway. If this was a government agency, or a government insider, which of course, the Q people still insist on, how is it that they couldn't control? Why would they use the chans? Or if they did use the chans, why couldn't they guarantee its success? The NSA was against Trump, the CIA was against Trump, and they were attacking and all this. Several times before the 1st of January, this Q thing said that we had it all and that he was going away. At one point, it was like 3 days in. Probably because he was getting called out at that point. But Paul, I want to speak to you directly. And there are others I would like to, but I think that you're kind of the key on this. For the salvation of the Trump movement, of the Second American Revolution, of the Constitutional Republic, the restoration of that, we need to get this straight with you, Paul. And I don't care who you do it with, but we just need to come clean, because now we know that there, as you're aware, I'm sure that you're looking at the technical information that has been found by the Anons and by some other people, which I'm going to mention here in a minute. It's all exposed now, Paul, all of it. And we don't need to run around. I'm not saying that you had any evil intent. That probably wasn't it. You probably really did just want to help people to see things. But Paul, they weren't necessary. They weren't necessary. Trump was giving the information out anyway. He was doing it, and he was tweeting about it. We didn't need Q. Q is a cancer. And it's very disruptive. And we didn't need anything that it told us. And then most of it didn't come true. Podesta's never went to jail. Hillary didn't have a bracelet on, a tracking device. Q got it wrong about the Russian plane crash. The guy they claimed was killed in that plane crash didn't happen. He was still alive. He's still alive today. Paul, I'm not even saying you're an operative. British, whatever, supposedly you're South African. I don't know. But we need your help. You need to speak up and put this thing to rest. I think that's the high road, and it's necessary. So I'm going to say that. Tracy Beans, you're the other one. You know more than you said. You and I have had some words, not bad ones. We were very close there at first. But the fact of the matter is that you're trying to skate. I'm not saying you're culpable for any wrongdoing. I'm just saying that you know more than you're willing to say because you're afraid it'll hurt your income ability. And I understand that. You're the breadwinner. I understand that. But something bigger than you is at stake here now. A lot of it's coming out. But we need Paul and we need Tracy, okay, to say what really happened. Put your pride, put your self-preservation senses to the side and think about the bigger picture at this point. We need you guys to do this. And I'm asking you to do it for the sake, literally, of the people of the United States, but also for the world. And I'm telling you the truth. I called out Jordan Sather the other day also. Jordan, I'm certain, knows. I met him personally. Unfortunately, I'm not certain that he's in a position where he will do this. He won't do an Isaac Green because of some other things about Jordan. And I'm sorry, Jordan, but I told you that, things were coming down the pike.
First of all, the president encouraged the support of people who showed up last night in these QAnon and Blacks for Trump fringe groups?
The president condemns and denounces any group that would incite violence against another individual, and certainly doesn't support groups that would promote that type of behavior. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration.
The president encouraged the support of people who showed up last night in these QAnon and fringe groups.
The president condemns and denounces and certainly doesn't support groups that would promote that type of behavior. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration.
The president encouraged the support of people who showed up last night in these QAnon and fringe groups.
The president condemns and denounces and certainly doesn't support groups that would promote that type of behavior. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration. The president condemns and denounces and certainly doesn't support. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration. The president condemns and denounces and certainly doesn't support. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration.
Of people who showed up last night in these QAnon and Blacks for Trump fringe groups.
The president condemns and denounces. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration. President condemns and denounces and certainly doesn't support. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration. The president condemns and denounces and certainly doesn't support. We've been clear about that a number of times since the beginning of the administration.